What's up, besties? I'm Stassi, and today we're going over tennis slang 101. Tennis has the weirdest lingo I've ever heard of. It took me months just to learn it all and make sense of it because it honestly sounds made up. It sounds like something out of a secret club that no one's invited to, but we're fixing that. You're invited. Everyone's invited to learn tennis, and by the end of this video, you are going to know all the words you need to be ready for the court. First up, love. No, not that kind of love. We're not finding romance on the tennis court. Love means zero, and it's said to be derived from the French word l'œuf, which means egg, because an egg looks like a zero. So when you hear them say the score is 40 love, that means 40 0. Deuce. Apparently, deuce is another French word derivative from deux, meaning two. Deuce means tie. You say that the score is deuce when it's 40-40. Deuce means that you're both tied at game point, and in tennis, you can only win by 2 points. So deuce is called to establish that it's tied, and now the players are fighting to see who will win the next point and the point after that to end the game. Ace. Ace is a killer serve that your opponent did not touch. They didn't even come close to touching it, meaning the serve was aced. It's basically saying perfect serve. Fun fact, Djokovic actually holds the record for hitting the most amount of aces in a match, firing them like freaking missiles that nobody can return. Bagel. When you bagel your opponent, that's like saying you killed them 6-0 in a set. The 0 making the bagel. In other sports, you would say it's a clean sweep. So it's meaning you won 6 games in that set and your opponent wasn't able to win a single game, meaning 0, aka bagel. When you bagel someone, it's not a derogatory term, but it's not a nice term. It's usually a fighting term, but what can you do when you get bageled? You kind of deserve to get your ass whooped like that. A second cousin to bagel is breadstick. Similar to bagel, except instead of 0, you're able to get 1 making the breadstick. When you breadstick someone, that means in that set, you won 6 games, but your opponent was able to win 1 game off of you making the breadstick. And if you didn't know, a set goes to 6 games. It's the first person to reach 6 games. And of course, you have to win by 2, because in tennis, you have to win everything by 2 points. Tank. A player is tanking, or they tanked, when they're deliberately losing or giving up halfway through the match. It's super frowned upon, and it can lead to fines even. So on top of you tanking in the match, now you just got fined thousands of dollars for doing so. But usually it's from fatigue, frustration, or it's even a strategy tactic. Shank. When you shank the ball, it means you didn't make contact with your strings and you made contact with your racket frame, resulting in a very embarrassing mishit or a flub. So when someone shanks it, it means they hit the fuck out of it with the side of their racket, and it's usually not a good shot. But don't beat yourself up because even the pros shank their shots sometimes. Let. A let is when the umpire or a player calls a legal do-over, lets you replay the point because of a hindrance, an obstruction, something like that, that wasn't your fault. Maybe a ball rolled onto your court from another court, pause the game, redo, no one's penalized, that's a let. The most common lets are service lets, when the server's ball clips the net but still lands in the appropriate service box, you get to do-over, a let. Tweener. Tweener is short for in-betweener. In-betweener. And that's when the player is hitting the ball between their legs. You'll see this happen when a player is sprinting to the back of the court and they have literally no other option but to hit the ball between their legs. Moonball. A moonball is a super high lob that arcs in the sky like the moon, and it's used as a defensive shot. Maybe you're caught off balance, your opponent's putting pressure on you, and you need to send them a big moonball to buy yourself time, throw off their game, disrupt the rhythm of the match and the tempo of the match. You send them a moonball. Poaching. Poaching mostly happens in doubles. It's when the player up at the net intercepts the ball that's meant to go to their baseliner partner behind them. So they intercept the ball and smash it down to finish the point. That's a poach. and it's a super aggressive play. Their main goal as a net player is to always look to attack, always poach. Dink, dink, a dink. A dink is a gentle, short ball that just barely clears the net, and it's hit with so much finesse that your opponent usually can't get there in time because they're standing way far back. And it's mostly used in doubles, but you can see it in singles play. And someone who overuses the dink shot is called a dinker. And it's just another way of saying that they like to play with a lot of finesse and maybe not so much power. Grinder, not that kind of grinder. A grinder is a type of player whose style is to wear down their opponent with consistent, reliable shots. They're not looking to attack. They're just looking to hit consistent balls over the net, causing forced or unforced errors on their opponent's side. They're not looking to do crazy shots. They're not looking to make crazy winners. They're not being aggressive. They're not attacking the net. They're staying back, grinding out, waiting for their opponent to make an error. Opposite of a grinder is a fighter. A fighter is looking to attack. They're super aggressive. They're looking to make those winners. They're running up to the net. They're hitting different styles of shots. They're moving their opponent around the court. That's a fighter. And lastly, dig or get. When a player makes a good dig or a get, it means they just made the most insane save. They sprinted their ass across the court, they jumped, they leaped, they just made an unbelievable play that otherwise they shouldn't have been able to do. They should have missed it, but they got it, so that's a get. And when that happens, you say, nice get. There you have it. Those are all the slang words you need to know for now. Hold on, I still have to say. I was taking a breath because I get excited and I don't breathe. Next time you're watching a tennis match, make sure to sprinkle in these new terms that you just learned to impress your friends. If I missed any slang, make sure you subscribe to my channel, Studio Stassi. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.